Multiple facets of World vs. World are metamorphosing into new forms, but by far the most pressing is the fact that commanders can now express their personality with colour. The borderlands will now be splashed with yellow, purple, red and blue. Coordination is a large part of World vs. World, and this assists with that in no small way. Using separate colours to differentiate between offensive, defensive or simply organised and spontaneous groups is a major quality of life improvement for leaders in the Mists. Of course, it's not going to stop people mindlessly following the wrong group, but preventing that is a fool's errand. On the plus side, think of all the wonderful art we can create on the map now. The third tournament between worlds is considerably different to the previous two. For a start, it will only last 4 weeks in order to make each match more impactful. Solid thinking, because a point where a server can simply rest on its laurels is not desirable for anyone, except maybe the server in question. The transfer lockout system has dissolved. Players will be able to move freely between servers at will during the tournament. In other words, if people see their server is failing, they'll be able to jump ship, and if the server they move to is also losing, they can pick another, and so on. Naturally, some people will try to back a winning side, and that side tends to become apparent very quickly. And it's a serious issue because no matter what ArenaNet do, people will try to figure out which server will win and pick that one. Even if they disallowed transfers for the whole tournament, the sneaky types would simply transfer the day or week before, so it's highly probable that ArenaNet realised the impossibility of forcing players to be loyal to their world. One of the more influential changes is to the achievements for the tournament. Instead of a list of grinding, players will have 4 weekly achievements to complete. However, players only need to do 5 events per week for full contribution. Even Edge of the Mist count, which is a bit unfortunate as running around in circles for the sole purpose of gathering achievements, strangely doesn't help a server win a tournament. It's actually an interesting approach. A low hurdle to leap over might encourage new players to try World vs. World, and then maybe stay. Handing out reward tickets is also handled differently. Each week they'll be awarded based on each server's placement. First place will receive 200, second 150, and third 100. Yet another positive change really. It does remove some of the prestige for winning, as everyone will now have access to the same rewards but in different quantities. Of course, due to the nature of items available, this is wholly irrelevant, as they are the same as the previous season, and probably will be permanent. If anything, they'll be added to, so even if a server lost every single time, they catch up anyway. But overruling this is the fact that it takes the sting out of losing. Some servers just aren't going to win. But now even the least powerful server will get something for its trouble, as opposed to a sticker that says, "You tried." That whole statement was an affront to the true World vs. World player. The true World vs. World player cares not for material rewards. They play for the glory, to see their enemies driven before them, hearing the lamentation of enemy commanders. Fortunately for them, the giant Dolyak in each citadel will bestow a world experience and experience buff for longer the better they perform. What giant Dolyak, you ask? Well, a majestic beast will be placed in each citadel to commemorate the glorious winners of the whole affair. Such a reward transcends mere trinkets and will surely appease even the most dedicated player. Up until now, golems were so difficult to use it was impossible to master them. Luckily, it turns out it only takes 2 seasons to figure out how to perfect the usage of the lumbering contraptions. The mastery effects are as follows: super speed after breaking a gate or wall, more damage and defense, area of effect healing with the shield bubble, and access to the ejector seat along with the self-destruct. Siege golems were already powerful, and possibly the only bonus needed was the ejector seat. Golems get focused, and when it can't take any more, the soft squishy player inside gets focus as collateral. The free healing and extra damage is somewhat concerning though. A large contingent of golems was hard enough to stop as it is, usually requiring more golems. Fortunately, the march of the machines can be halted by the new Siege Disabler. Purchasable for a small fee from the Traps and Tricks vendor, this grenade-like weapon will render all siege in a 450-inch radius useless for 45 seconds, with a shorter 20-second duration on golems. Using this to stall, or in combination with other defensive fortifications, is going to hinder the plans of attackers considerably. This trick could have some application for the offensive sort, but careful arrow cart placement will ensure line of sight deals with such attempts. Zergs might end up being sneaky with their siege, spreading it out as much as possible to avoid it all being disabled. This would especially apply to golems, as they can actually move. It's a bit unfortunate that the lack of reward for defending hasn't been addressed yet. but at least the defender's advantage is more substantial.